Hi YouTube, in this video I talked about why I became a VTuber. Segment of this was cut off from my Twitch stream on twitch.tv/attlee. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. The chat today, I'm gonna talk about something that a lot of people have been asking, a lot of people wonder, and I'll probably post this on YouTube, so make sure you say hi to YouTube. Today I'm gonna talk about why I became a VTuber. Like, why did I think like VTubing is being my thing? Why should I be VTuber? Why do I do this? Why did I do that? Blah, 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 blah. Why do I like it? Why did I get into it? How did I get into it? Why should I think anybody should be a VTuber himself? Why you should be a VTuber, I will do in a future video where we talk about next week on twitch.tv/attlee. We will talk about next week about what to do to become a VTuber, and I'll give you maybe an idea why you should be a VTuber. Maybe you will get that idea from this video. So if you're interested in that after this one, you're free to take a look at the future video or come by my Twitch channel. We're doing like a little segment on my Discord where you can even ask a question for that video. So if you're interested in that, you can go and do that now. You have a couple days before. You have like 6 days after this video to maybe to ask a question. Anyway, so the thing is that, funny enough, chat, funny enough, I have messed around streaming for a bit, like a little bit. I done a little bit of content creation. I have a video that I made when I was a kid. I played like I played Skyrim and posted some guide video, and just generally I've like always made I've just like from times posted some funny like some videos here and there, but I never really put my time and effort into like creating content. I remember when COVID happened and I was just chilling a little bit more at home and vibing, and I decided to click live for streaming for my friends and streaming for just generally while I was just hanging out with friends in VR chat. Never took it seriously, just took it, vibed around, just clicked the live button, hang out, and took it easy and had fun. And that's pretty much it, what I used to do most of the time. I've been in a couple of Twitch communities here and there, and I thought, you know what? They're asking all the time for me to be live. Why the hell not just click the live button and chill out and vibe? And I did that. Never took it seriously. It was just fun, and I think a lot of people do that. I think there's a lot of people on Twitch nowadays, and for a long time, there has been a lot of people on Twitch that tends to just click the live button and chill out and vibe. There's a lot of 1 viewer, 2 viewer, 3 viewer Andes. There's a lot of people under 10 viewers on Twitch that are just streaming for their friends, for their loved ones, and stuff like that. And generally, I think also there's a lot of streamers out there that begin that way. And I began that way. I began creating an interest because of that. Because eventually with time that came out, I thought to myself, I think this could be fun to try pushing. I have friends in this field. I have a lot of friends that are doing well in this field. And you know what? Why not test it out? Why not trust it out? But then it came to the question, before I do this, when I was messing around, fucking around, I decided I was playing at the time a game called VR Chat. If you have heard about it, it's like a virtual social environment that you play in VR. And I essentially am a 3D artist. I'm an artist myself. I love art. And I decided to make myself a 3D model for that game and essentially use that model as a VTuber. And the first time I tried it out, because I've done like streams. I've done streams with a face cam on a different channel, and I've done streams on this channel with a VTuber model. I basically tried it both, and it didn't really make me feel any different depending on if I use my face cam or I used a VTuber model. And itself, for me, it looked like the same thing, but there was a scenario that I'll get into a little bit that made me decide on becoming a VTuber itself. Because like when I talk to my friends and I talk to like just generally people that are in this field, a lot of people don't understand why I'm a VTuber. They don't understand why would somebody likes to work out and take care of themselves and like tends to take care of themselves in public. Why would someone like that be a little bit like stay away from the camera? Because like even my friends and family thinks that just generally I'm people say I'm photogenic or whatever it's called, but I don't think myself I am. But in sort of a way, there's a lot of people that don't understand why I'm a VTuber. So I think that with this video here that we're talking about now and having this discussion, it could really like emphasize and people can understand why I think VTubing is so much more interesting. It goes a little bit back because I remember in 2019, I think it was 2018, the first VTuber I saw was in my YouTube suggestion feed, where I found first Corona, and watched a few videos of her, and I was like flabbergasted of the technology and the art form, because I've never seen an anime character move like that, and I was very fascinated about the technology. I thought the technology was really cool when it came to VTubing. Like, how does the tracking work? How does everything work? How do these things work? And I was putting my mind into it, just looking at it and completely ignoring the content itself, but just staring at the model and being fixated about the fact that this art is moving like this. And I think this is really cool. Then later on, like after watching a couple Corona videos, I found Iron Mouse, and I was completely hooked into the field. And as time goes, I kept on consuming more and more VTubing content, and we're more and more fascinated about the technology and the evolution of it. Because like I have a art background, so I've drawn a lot, I've done a lot of art, and I've for a very long time, like when I see any type of different art like pieces or any art styles, I think it's really cool. And when I saw the fact that there was a new technology being built around making art alive, being a character of an art piece that moves, it really I looked at it as the coolest thing ever, and I still do it. Like, I still do it because there's like VTubing is still evolving to this day. There's still so many things that are new and coming out, and I look at all of the things, people doing rigs and people in the field, like the people making VTuber Studio and all the addition they're doing. I think it's so cool and fascinating of how it's still evolving and how things evolve and how this has even become a thing. It's fascinating how models work and move and get made. Yeah, I know, it's cool, right? I always think that, and I still think it to this day. And I thought that in 2019, and I still think it to this day, and I still flabbergasted and fascinated about it. And how there are many different art styles for VTubers. There are, yeah. I want to make a VTuber model, but it's just so complicated for me. My next video will be perfect for you, Illumination, then. I will explain a lot of things there. I love the creative aspect of VTubers. Yeah, I love that too. And that's the thing I could say, talk a little bit about. So I was mostly captured to begin with about the art style and the technology. The thing is that whenever you ask someone, why did I become a VTuber? Or let's ask why, if you ask someone that is not a VTuber, most of the time they would assume someone becomes a VTuber because of their real visual looks or privacy. But in my case, and I think in many cases of other VTubers, I don't think that's the case. I think some VTubers really adore the factor of privacy. I think they do, and I can understand that. In a world we are in now where people are really crazy, you get a lot of comments, you get a lot of crazy stuff happening. A lot of people are saying a lot of insane stuff all the time. I've never really cared about it. I would not care I would not care about like talking, like meeting someone or using my real name or anything like that. I don't care that much. But it's very much the form of how everything works and the environment you're in has been very capturing. So at the moment of first, I was captured by the technology, then the beautiful art. And then when I started jumping into the community, I got more and more amazed by the talents. Because I realized one thing is that whenever someone is a VTuber, they're more comfortable with being themselves. They're not worried about a camera being in front of them. They're not worried about anything at all. They don't care about how they look or anything like that. There's no distraction. They have their model and they express themselves to the fullest. And that's why you see a lot of VTubers being out there, being more themselves, and also being so much more of themselves. They look like they're from an insane asylum. Face Connect reference. Or anyways, it's I've noticed that the interest of unique different talents within the field has been very capturing, because I can name like I know a lot of like flesh VTubers, face cam streamers that are pretty interesting. I know a lot of them, but in the end of the day, I only watch like 2 face cam streamers that I really like really enjoy watching. When it comes to VTubers, I feel the amount of interesting, unique individual I find in the field is a lot. I feel it's a lot. There's a lot. I have a lot of Oshis. I have only one Kami-Oshi. But in the end of the day, I never stop to be amazed about how creative and how fun they are in itself. And I think that whenever I looked at it like that, I was very put into the field and wanted to look more and more into it. And the more you take a step into it, which I am very happy about my community being a part of that kind of trend, is that VTuber communities are often very friendly. They're very kind. They're welcoming. They're full of talents. You have artists, you have programmers, you engineers. You have a lot of people that are very talented and they express their talents and they like talking about those talents. They're very welcoming. They try to inform you about things. There's never rude. There's not that much rudeness. And obviously there's some outliers out there. There are always people out there in the world that will be an asshole. Always will be. But I feel like if I look at my, like, if I compare some VTuber communities to some of my friends' communities that are big, like, flesh tubers, it's day and night. People can, there is more of an environment in VTubers, and I feel like it's a more generalized environment where people are more welcoming and kind to each other. And it's a very attractive motion that made myself also want to jump into VTubing. I think that, again, I don't want to go too much into why you should be a VTuber, what's good about being a VTuber. I will do that on how to be a VTuber video. But I think that with a mixture of those four things, the technology, the background of art, and seeing all of those unique art forms and art pieces, seeing that people are more expressive in the community itself, making it more of like interesting to be a part of such an environment, and also having the factor of the generalization of VTuber community being more like welcoming kind, made it very attractive. I think that there's a problem with VTuber, is that if you don't know, most VTubers only collab with VTubers. But VTubers often, like, in very rare occasion, collabs with flesh tubers. Only whenever they've done a face reveal, though. So in many ways, whenever you look at these things, and if you have a lot of inspiration or hopes and dreams to talk to someone, most of the time, the only time you could actually talk to them or do anything with them or anything like that would be in the same field as them. So it did really push me over to that factor. The amount of share of talents in the field as well, I think that is inspiring. Whenever you see all of these all of these things put together, you see the art, you see the things where people are trying to express themselves and being more unique, the way they're producing content, and just being in an environment like that makes you want to do more. And I feel like that's a lot of the reasoning why I feel like I wanted to be it. So in 2022, I decided, you know what? No, it was start of 2022 or 2021. I was like thinking about it, and 2022, I kind of like decided, you know what? I gotta do it. And it took me like nearly a year to find my VTuber artist, because as you can see, I'm a male VTuber, and finding a male VTuber is extremely challenging. It's like a male VTuber artist is extremely challenging. And the challenges I faced was the fact that every artist I thought was fitting for my style or the quality I want to do would be never answer their emails, because they would only take clients of the higher margin. They would never take any upcoming individuals. So it was very hard, and it is much easier for any female out there. Way easier. You are there are way more female VTubers out there. There are more suppliers, but that also means that you have a harder time to evolve, which will be something I'll talk about next time. But it took me nearly a year to find my artists, and I finally found them and managed to talk to them. It was very hard to get a hold of them. But once I did, I got my sketch, and he was basically pushed my sketch into the field, like into his list, even though he was already occupied with 5 new models to make. So I had to wait an entire year after making my sketch to get him to work on my model, because I couldn't have anyone else to work on it. It was impossible to find anyone else. And that was 2023. He finally started working on my model, and I had, during that time while waiting for him to work on it, I found someone to do my rig. Now, finding a individual to do my rig is not hard. It's because it's just the art performer that is hard. There are many good individuals that do rig out there. And I decided to take on one of my friend's suggestions, and because I thought that they were like, they didn't do that many rigs, but they have obviously had the knowledge of it. So I decided to commission them and give them money to do the rig. And once everything was settled, they had some delay, they got sick, and basically in the end of it, it took like, while they were working on both of them were working on my VTuber model, it took like 6 months for them to be done. So at 2023 of summer, my VTuber model was finally done. I had my debut, and as soon as I finished my debut, I got a lot of stress from work and obligation of life because I was buying a property. So I basically could not take things seriously again. I could not take it, and I still dabbled with the thought after having my debut. Do I want to be a VTuber? Do I want to do streaming? And I think that it came to a realization during the stress while I streamed that every time I go live, I feel like I don't think about anything outside of streaming. So it's like it's a way for me to it's escapism for me. It's like if I have any worries in real life, as soon as I went live, I didn't feel any worries anymore. I just felt like I was focusing on this thing and didn't think about it anymore. So I figured out one thing. Through these years of debating about things, I figured out I want to try something out. I want to try streaming out, and streaming helps me relax. Then I found out that VTubing communities are very approachable, very welcoming, kind. I love all of the talents around it and the unique atmosphere that these characters and everything is giving out. And I think the technology is always evolving and cool. So I said, heck it. You know what? I have my model finally. I have everything ready. I will give it a shot. So in 2024, I started streaming properly and giving it a proper try and see how generally see how it went. And it took like a couple months before I decided on, you know what? This is the type of content I want to do. And I think that next time we talk about how to be a VTuber, I think that is something I will really emphasize on, is that figuring out what to do as a content creator is very hard. And it took me months to figure it out because I came up and I was like, I take it seriously. And I streamed a dead game for just my friends at that time still. So I still not had evolved, but I had my model and I had an idea of wanting to evolve to figure something out. But it's with time, I finally found out everything I wanted to do. And I found out that why I burn for this field itself. Like, why do I burn for it? You've seen Abe in chat. He was actually really helpful with many things. Because I was trying to measure down what would really work? What do I really like to do? And as we figured it out, I realized these things are really enjoyable and really fun. I found a field that is very welcoming, is very enjoyable. I can express art. I can talk about things that I really have a big passion for. And in general, it makes me my brain disconnects. I don't think about much more anymore. My brain don't think about more than the fact that we are live. It's the best way to have an escapism. And I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So in short, the reason why I decided for VTubing is literally because of the art form and generally in many ways the technology. I think I've seen how have you seen the new lean? There's so many new things people are adding into the rigging proportions, and there's so many things added to the VTuber studio nowadays that are insane. It's really cool. It's just interesting to see how things are evolving so quickly. It's another thing that also made me really want to do VTubing is the fact that I think VTubing is the future on content creation. I think the factor of being anybody can be like everybody has seen anybody doing anything on a camera. They've seen this and that. They've seen that stream with a camera, and anybody can still build himself up. But I think VTubing, even to this day, are a niche. I think it's a niche that are constantly evolving. And with time that flows, I think it will be more and more popular. And I think that once that popularity breaks, I think VTubing is like the future, like in sort of sense. I think it's the best and easiest ways of marketing because a VTuber can be everywhere in the world on an instance. It just requires one software and one call, and the VTuber can be there for that advertisement, for that event, for this and this and that. They can multitask, they can be everywhere, and they can do so much. They have connection in so many talented fields. So eventually with time, I feel like VTubers will just eventually become, they will be more, I want to use the word industrialized, but it will just be more, it will be more everywhere. It will be the next big thing that everybody want to achieve. I thought there's no real reason to not be one. Professionalized? Yeah, I guess professional. I don't know. Like, it's gonna be, I think with time that goes, I think that VTubers will, we have not seen it. In 2020, people were saying it's too late to be a VTuber. In 2022, people said it's too late to be a VTuber. In 2024, people are still saying it's too late to be a VTuber. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's too late. I don't think we've even seen the wave of when it becomes popular. We've not reached that yet. We started to see HoloLive on a big sporting event, and we're starting to see Nijisanji in NBA. The more these things are being presented to the world, the more VTubing is going to capture an audience. And there are a downside to VTubing. If you're better than everyone, it's never too late. That is an honest fact. So to be better, be faster, be stronger. Yeah. Just know that being a VTuber is hard to get into though. I am nerfing myself by deciding to be a VTuber, but I love it. And it's a chance. It's a field I feel more like comfortable and happy with. But it's at the same time, it's also one of the hardest fields to jump into. And the reason for that is VTubing is sparking up now, and it's been sparking up for a while. There's a lot of competition. There are a lot of people out there, and the audience of VTuber is minuscule because it's a niche. It's very hard for people to get into VTubing. A lot of people will look at a VTuber and not understand it. They will find it cringe. They will see it and be like, what is this? I don't understand. This is some cartoon, blah, blah, blah. And they will look away. Most people that are interested in VTubing are not interested in only one VTuber. They tend to watch multiple VTuber. That's why we have Kamiyoshi and Oshis and all of this thing that we tend to mention. Because the thing is that VTubers in many, many ways live and die by collaborations. The top VTubers, there are very few VTubers out there that can live by themselves. I don't think any VTuber at the moment on the top live by themselves. Every single one spams collaborations. But if you look at any big streamer that are just, let's look at Kai Cenat. Does he do a lot of collabs? No, he doesn't. He barely does it, but he's still on top. But the thing is that VTubers, the nerf about VTubers is that the community is so small still and minuscule because it's a niche that it's kind of founded upon a recyclable audience, which is really weird. And it's very hard, but at the same time, if you really like the craft, you really like the art, those things won't matter at all for now. The fact that VTubing is has a recyclable audience has made me think that maybe it's not a good idea. But I said, heck, fuck it. Why? Well, go for it. I love it. I love the art. Like, look at the amount of talented artists I'm seeing in my Discord making beautiful art all the time. Do you think I would have that sort of passion and love if I would a FaceTime streamer? I don't think I would see you guys. I don't think I would. I think that in a way, the passion and love with craft and art is more expressed in a VTubing community. I think so. Because whenever I look at my other like really big streamers, you don't see that kind of art form. I feel like this the community itself is trying to present itself and express itself more in an art form. And someone with an artistic background absolutely love that. I love that. Asmon's fan art compared to your fan art, yeah, it's like day and night, and he has like thousands of viewers, right? It's absolute day and night. Why did you choose to be a wolf man? That's a good question, actually. Why did I become a wolf man? I think that is in the end of the day, I always thought demi-human wolves are cooler. I've grown up with a dog. I like dogs the most, and yeah, why don't you become a dog guy? I just think wolves are cool. Like, straight up, the reason is I just think wolves are cool. I like wolves more than fox and cats. You don't want to deal with a cat boy. You never know what a cat boy does or says, so you don't want to deal with a cat boy. But yeah, I think just wolves are cooler. I think they're the coolest, that's why. What are your thoughts about the VTubing community as of right now? I think the community is in a great place. I think it's better. I think it's better now than it was before. I think it's expanded, but I also feel like it's a good spot. There are some things I dislike about the VTubing community. I think that they are not taking accountability enough about those outliers being racist. I think that the factor that there are people now... The thing is that I think that in some way, I'm very happy with how the community is at the moment. But at the same time, I think the factor that still people are still thinking about how they visually look in real life or how other people visually look in real life to be moronic. Because it doesn't make sense that we are these visual characters and you're using your actual racial or real life view to discriminate other people or decide who you're gonna like do videos with or streams with. I think that's super moronic. And I think it's really stupid as well whenever people are trying, like, just generally not pushing down on it. I think it's still a bit lame. I'm not that big of a fan that the VTubing community is so sexual too. I think that has been downplayed a little bit now with time that gone by. But I don't like VTubers that are just pure about sexual stuff. I think it's boring. So I'm glad that the VTubing now, like in 2022 to 2023, it was kind of booming, LootTubers, but it's kind of like died down now. So I'm very happy this is kind of slowed down a little bit because I find it so utterly boring. It's not my kind of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm not saying that people drawing some spicy art or releasing some spicy art are bad. Not at all. I'm talking about the people that are constantly talking about sex, loot, posting always lewd art and stuff like that. If your personality, and this was for a lot of people, the personality was just sexual. And I think that is boring for a field where people can be so creative. So I think in many ways, VTubing, I'm very happy. I think VTubing is getting better, but there are still something bad that it's not perfect. That's my thoughts. Do you have any regrets? No. I'm very new to the field and I have no regrets. I regret not starting earlier. I wish I started way earlier. I wish I could. I wish I could, but life and the fact of having the model, I didn't have the opportunity. So I kind of started as soon as I could, I guess. But I do wish I could start earlier to be a VTuber. I would love to. It would be great. But no, I feel like I don't have any regrets of the content. I'm new and I've started doing what I want to do. And I've started going and talking to the people I want to and doing what I'm happy with how my community's turned out as well. Like, everybody's super lovely and nice. So I have no regrets at all. I made this model exactly the way I wanted. I did many revisions of it to make sure that it's the perfect way, the perfect one for me. Because I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars on a model, and it did cost thousands of dollars. To have a model, I will see something that I will dislike, you know? I look at it and I'm happy with everything. There's nothing I dislike about this model at all. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anything you want to see in the future in VTuber community as a whole? I think that with maybe I feel like I and someone else are the only male VTubers out there, male Chuba VTubers out there that are not sexual. I think in some way it's really sad to see that there's so many like bad scenarios regarding male VTubers doing fucked up shit. And I think it's a little bit sad to see that there's a majority of male VTuber audience are interested in like sexy ASMR licking and like let me dominate you kind of vibe. I think it's like the fact that that's norm. I hope that shifts with time. I don't like that being the norm of a male VTuber because like I'll go live and even if I'm not sexual, I'll have people be like, can you put your tongue on my, you know, it's like those kind of comments when I'm clearly not that opposite is because of the community is fixated on the focus that this is how male VTubers are meant to behave. And I hope that with time, there will be more like male VTubers that are not going that direction and the community view will be shifted from it. I would like that. Do you see a hard cut between a corpo versus indie VTuber? If yes, would you like to see more interaction between them? I think there is a massive cut between corpo and indie VTubers. The only time corpo VTubers talk to an indie VTuber is whenever they are massive themselves, whenever they don't need to be corpo. And I think that's sad. I think it's sad that I barely see. I think Iron Mouse does a good job, but I think there's a lot of corpo VTubers that never stream with anybody that is a smaller VTuber at all. They always stream with big other corpo VTubers, or they stream with someone that has 4,000 to 6,000 viewers. It's kind of boring. There's a thing about streaming with your friends and people you're comfortable with and have fun with more because you enjoy it, and you should do that. But the thing is that why is always those people the biggest ones? You know what I mean? It's never someone else. What's your favorite memory of being a VTuber? I've been a VTuber since April. So I've been a VTuber now for how many months? Like, actually, 1, 2, 3 months, 4 months. This is 4th month. I'm on my 4th month. I will be honest. My favorite memory of being a VTuber is whenever people started coming in my chat from YouTube and started saying, I will draw a fan out of you. I love your model and I want to cosplay you. I think that is my favorite memory. I think I will die, or like I'll die and I'll think about that because I think I remember how I felt after that. It was very sweet. It was very welcoming. People like me and like the creation that I've designed myself and want to cosplay it and draw it. I think that's my favorite memory. I think my second is that my Kamiyoshi Kenji talked about me and we talked about it. I think that's my second one, maybe, or third. I'm not sure, but that's definitely the day people started coming up to from my YouTube and started talking and saying all these things because it came in a massive wave. It was pretty massive. It was pretty massive. I went from 15 to 20 through 30 and then to like 70 average viewers like in just a few weeks. It was a very big shift. You plan on doing a new design on your model anytime soon? No. I won't do any new designs of my model anytime soon. If I became, like, let's say next day I became a full-time streamer, I don't think I would do a new design of my model in a year. I'm gonna be real with you. It would take a very long time before me to decide I will do something new with this one. Because I really like this. I really like this. I would maybe debate about an outfit or something like that, but I'm very happy with my model. I'm very happy with everything. Chat, I think nobody has any more questions. That's pretty much why I became VTuber. It's really simple in that sort of regard. But yeah, I hope that whoever watches this gets an idea of why I decided to be a VTuber. Maybe that inspired you to think about, maybe this sounds like something for me. And if you are interested in becoming one and these things did interest you, I'm gonna make a video. I'm doing a stream very soon. Next week, I'm doing a stream on what to do to become a VTuber. If you have any question, you can ask that on my Discord. I will have like a segment of it for 5-6 days. Before I answer those questions, then I'll talk about how to become a VTuber. So yeah, I inspired you, maybe that video in the future will be interesting. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you guys enjoyed, and hope you all have a wonderful day. Now, Ellie, say hi to them. Say hi. Bye, 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 bye.